What does the other world look like? Where do men go before the resurrection of the body? After the resurrection of the bodies? I will edit it in another video. Indeed, we know Pope Benedict XII made it a solemn dogma immediately after death: the souls, who are ready, who have completed their purgatory, enter the beatific vision and are in paradise. But we must know what it is like, these various worlds. Are these worlds purely spiritual? Well, that's what St. Thomas Aquinas thought by the following very simple reasoning. The faculties of the sensible life, like seeing, hearing, the faculties, as imagined, are connected with the brain, which is a material organ. Now this organ disappears at death, so there remain in the other world only the spiritual faculties, the spiritual intelligence which understands the meaning of life, and the will, which makes free choices. Therefore all memories, according to him, sensitive, disappeared. We now know, and St. Augustine had had the intuition, in several texts, because he had been made aware of the experiences of people who had approached death. We now know that it is not like this, that the psyche, therefore the sensible life which is common to us with animals, survives death. And so the other world, is adapted to this psyche that can see, who can hear, etc. It is thus possible to say it now a real physical world, but these souls being not yet resuscitated, they do not have access to the direction of the touch, but they can see the sensible beauties of this world in which we will live, and this time resurrected, at the end of the world. And I would even say that, by dint of progressing in the knowledge of what makes happiness and unhappiness in the human being, we can even say, I believe, that this world is unique. It is an immense world, gigantic, but it is unique. I mean, there are not many separate worlds. One who would be hell, one who would be purgatory or his various homes, and one that would be paradise. No, it is the same world but lived by souls whose inner state is quite different. In hell I would say nothing of them is deprived of those who want materially, if not the resurrection that will come, the end of the world. But they do not benefit at all, since their heart is centered solely on the desire to covet the heavenly paradise. I mean the beatific vision. They want it, but not because they would like God, but because they know it's the only thing that could balance them. Yet materially they lack nothing, and it is perhaps a beautiful world where they live, but that brings them no joy. We can say that, as St. Augustine says, all have materially but have nothing. As for God, it is to be poor of everything. In paradise it is the same world, but they see God face to face, so that their happiness, their bliss is complete, and in purgatory they love God with all their heart, but I would say they do not see it yet. They are in a moment of solitude in a world no doubt physical, magnificent, grandiose, but their soul is as dry as they are spiritually thirsty for this God whom they have seen humanity at the hour of death. People, who approach death, describe it by saying, it is a garden of wonders, there are trees, there are animals, there are plants. It's fantastic. It fits us totally, it's beautiful. Well, I think it's not just images they've seen but the reality. This seems to indicate that everything that has happened on earth on the other side survives, and I would say decorate this immense world that God is preparing for our eternity.